The kids of Elm Street don't know it yet, but something is coming to get them.
There's something out there, isn't there?
Seems to me you're just plain scared.
Yes. Yeah, I am. I met him 15 years ago. I was told there was nothing left. No reason, no conscience, no understanding, and even the most rudimentary sense of life or death, of good or evil, right or wrong. I met this 6-year-old child with this blank, pale, emotionless face and the blackest eyes, the devil's eyes. I spent 8 years trying to reach him, and then another 7 trying to keep him locked up, because I realized that what was living behind that boy's eyes was purely and simply evil.
We weren't doing anything, we were just messing with
It's still warm.
He got hungry.
Could have been a skunk.
Could have.
Man wouldn't do that.
This isn't a man.
I'm switching from coffee to beer now because it's 11:50.
Well, it's Red Bull time for us.
Ever since this quarantine thing, it's like I'm not drinking every night, but I am drinking every day. So for whatever that works, I don't know what else to do with myself.
Well, how's your White Claw addiction going on?
I am on a break right now.
Oh,
we took we parted ways. We're separated at the moment. The only reason I was doing White Claws is like I spent weeks and months making fun of people drinking that shit. And then I started drinking. I was like, oh, that's pretty refreshing, actually. Sometimes I don't want something as heavy as beer. And then me and my wife were doing keto for a while. And I was just like, I don't want another Michelob Ultra. So I started pounding those things. And I was like, I'm pretty sure you can't get a buzz off these things.
No,
and that's that one episode of my podcast. We tested that theory, and I was wrong.
Yes, you got how many into it before you stared feeling?
I think by the end of it, I probably drank 1 or 2 before we started rolling. I think by the end of the show, I was like 7 in. And I was like, oh yeah, there's definitely booze in this.
All right, welcome to the Drop Culture Podcast, everybody. This is a podcast that picks up the piece of pop culture that you forgot about or missed, shines it up real nice, and then crams it in your ear holes. I cannot say that fucking word.
If you want to do it again, just let me know.
No, I'm cool. I want to sound like an idiot.
Word.
Well, my name is Brock. To the right of me, I got
Mitch.
And across the table,
Dan.
And then we have a special guest in the studio today, Bobby from the Not For Everyone podcast. Say hello to everybody.
Hey, I'm Bobby from the Not For Everyone podcast. I'm not in the studio because I am trying to listen to the guidelines about social distancing. However, we are in separate states as well. Yeah. I didn't mean to step on your intro.
No. We're in the virtual. You're in the studio right now, though. Yeah.
We're in a virtual studio.
Yes. For all intents and purposes.
Yes.
Well, this is our first long distance guest. We've been friends with your podcast for how long now? Jeez, it's been a long time.
Probably late summer, I would say.
Yeah.
Somewhere in there.
Yeah, you reached out and we did the review swap, which was pretty cool. And then, I've listened to all your episodes. I know Dan has. I know Mitch has. So always go back through, listen to you and Adam bullshit around.
That's a good way of putting it, I would say. Yeah.
Well, it's fun.
We appreciate like one of the coolest things about starting a podcast, honestly, like, listenership aside. I mean, I'm not even worried about that. I just like, doing this regardless. But, one of the best things is just like making new fellow podcast friends, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. Yes. There's a community there, and that's nice.
Well, this is the one medium that you can reach anybody from anywhere. You know,
Oh, yeah.
This is what the cable guy talked about.
Yeah, honestly.
Completely. I mean, we could be playing Mortal Kombat right now, but we're not.
With our friend in Vietnam.
Yes. You know.
Down.
But yeah, we've, I don't know. We're almost hitting our 100th episode now. I mean, we're getting close. So this one will be a special episode. And I thought
We may not put out quality content, but we put out quantity.
Quantity.
Yes.
We're the exact opposite of that phrase. We put out quantity over quality.
Yeah.
The shotgun approach.
We have 2 buckets and we got to put them into one of them.
Yes.
There you go.
So we chose.
Well, this week's episode, we're going to talk all about our top 5 favorite slasher movies. Thought this would be a good one to do with somebody, and especially somebody like you, Bobby, just because, I mean, I know that you fit into our kind of everything that we talk about, everything like that. You know?
That's why you guys even started like talking, is because you guys do a lot of the same kind of vibe that we do, you know?
Yeah.
Right.
So
it was one of those things where you're like, oh my God, there's other weird people out there like me that like these
Exactly.
odd fringe stupid movies. Yeah, wonderful.
Yeah,
exactly.
I think like it's like me, you, and Dan grew up in the same town and went to the same video store. And then, like, whenever I went to go rent something, it was gone because one of you guys had it. You know, and then the next week I would go back and then it would be there, but I would have the movie that you wanted. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I'm just here
Let's
so
just
I
say
don't
I
get
was an
fined.
indoor kid.
Yes, that's all it was. I ate a lot of cheese and cheese products, and watched a lot of horror movies because my parents didn't give a shit. They were just like,
absolutely.
yeah. They were like, eat all you want to, fatty.
Fatty McFatterson,
Go play sports too, fatty. And I'm like, I can't breathe. It's too much cheese.
Small side story. I literally remember, like, I grew up in Texas in the dead of summer. It's like you don't even feel bad about not going to play outside. But I remember sitting around, like, watching a bunch of movies that I rented, and like, I'm going to go get some exercise. And then I rode my bike to Jack in the Box and got, like, 3 99-cent ultimate cheeseburgers or whatever. Like, really, like, oh, that was my workout for the day. Like, back to Temple of Doom or whatever.
Yes. Yeah. I'm going to watch The Breakfast Club for the 20th time this week.
Right.
I got a copy of it.
And I'm over here just so I don't get fined.
Yeah.
I don't know where I fit in, but I'm here.
Mitch learns with us. He grows with us.
Yes.
Well,
And
where
we grow with him.
Yeah. Where I was at in Texas, we did play outside all the time. That's all we did. But like my parents were never home because they would go party on the weekends. So all I had was fucking the 6 videos that I would rent from Hastings.
Yeah. That's similar. We were always forced to go outside. Like, you don't come in until dinner.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here, you know? Go run amok.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of time spent watching movies, man.
Yeah. I mean, that's where these slashers come in because that was like
my mom managed a video store like for a while when I was a kid. So it was like every day something came out. I was like,
yeah. No, I would go to the horror section every time and be looking at shit and always pick by the case. You know,
100%.
by what it looked like on the box art, and that's always influenced me from now on. Now that I'm looking at like YouTube and all that shit like that, if they have shitty box covers, I'm like, nope, that's a blockbuster. Nope, that's a blockbuster. And my wife generally likes those movies, and I'm like, why are you this is gonna suck, I tell you right now. And then like 30 minutes into it, she's like, this sucks. I'm like, I told you. You could tell by the artwork. It really sucks. It's a full moon feature.
There was something like both liberating and enslaving about renting a movie too, because like once you rented it, you went to the store, you got maybe 2, maybe more, but generally mom and dad will maybe let you get 2 on mine of things. And like, dude, you had to commit to that. You could not, turn it off and go to the next streaming thing. Like, oh, this sucks. After 15 minutes, it doesn't catch your attention, so you move on to something else. It's like, why did I rent Rockadoodle? This is stupid.
Yeah, but then you watch it 3 times because you got to take it back in 2 days.
Because you have no other choice.
You're like, I got this, and all dogs go to
100%.
heaven. Why do I got Rockadoodle in here?
I don't mean to talk shit about Rockadoodle, actually. Pretty classic.
Rockadoodle, friend of the show.
Yeah.
It's the first movie that came to mind for some reason.
Well, as if you've listened to these roundtables, we kind of just go around the table, start with our number 5, and then kind of work down, kind of talk a little bit about each one of them. So who wants to go first?
I would like to go last, just because I want you guys to set the tone. Because my 5th movie it's off the cuff a little bit.
Okay.
So I'd rather you guys set the tone for the slasher.
Okay. You want to go first, Bobby?
Sure, I guess. Well, I have a quick question for you guys, though. How are let's lay some, and I don't want to influence everyone to try to necessarily revamp their entire list. It's a little late for that, but how are we defining slasher? Because and it doesn't matter if our definitions conflict, but I went by it's got to have a body count, basically.
Yeah.
And one killer and a body count.
Yep, I agree with that.
Yeah. That's kind of where I went with it anyway. Just inherently.
For example, I could have easily thrown Psycho on this list, but I don't really count it as a slasher necessarily.
So I agree.
At least
sorry to interrupt. I agree with that. It's kind of like calling the Stooges punk when they're more proto-punk. They started all that, you know what I mean? So it's more of a proto-slasher, if you will.
Right.
Yeah.
And the other thing I was going to say, it was really hard to make this list, but I wanted to make it as honest as possible. I don't care about horror community street cred. I'm just going with my heart on this.
Right.
100%.
I've seen a lot of the Italian stuff. I have an appreciation for it, kind of like your Stooges metaphor there. Though I love the Stooges more than Italian horror.
Yeah.
But just throwing that out there. So my first one is actually, I guess that was my long-winded way of saying that this is kind of a basic bitch list, but it's true. My first one is going to be 1981. Tony Maylam directed The Burning.
Yeah.
Yes, I know you guys did that podcast on it. I the first time that I knew about it was from your podcast, and I watched it on YouTube. I had never seen it before.
Really?
I mean, it was just such a weird, crazy movie. God, there's just so many highlights on that movie too. And it wasn't Tom Savini. Didn't he do the effects for it?
Yeah, I think he actually did not go and do Friday the 13th Part 2 or Part 3. I can't remember, depending on the timeline. So he could go do The Burning. And the only thing that Tony Maylam's remotely kind of known for is that weird Rutger Hauer movie Split Second from 1988.
Yes.
Which is also worth watching, but it's very different from The Burning. But what I like about it is it hits all the cliches and all the tropes of a slasher, but for whatever reason, the characters are really well hashed out. It feels very real, and in the way that these kids are reacting to the given situation. There's multiple examples of you watch kids view their friend's dead body maybe from a distance or up close, and it's good God, this capturing of the pandemonium of that just feels really down to earth and grounded. And that's really what I like about that movie. But again, I mean, it's got all the cliches. It's got the body count. It's got kind of an ambiguous boogeyman, which is vaguely based on Cropsey. I believe he's actually named Cropsey in that movie. But again, just the way it kind of takes the genre from camp into this realm of realism. At least that's how I interpreted it. So mine's going to be The Burning for number 5.
But wasn't it also supposed? I mean, it was written and everything like that before Friday the 13th came out, wasn't it?
Yeah, that sounds right. I'm not 100% sure on that, but it was kind of that. We've established, what the American slasher is going to be. We've seen the success of Friday the 13th and even Halloween. And now Miramax is going to try their hand at this, basically.
Yeah, and it was also the Weinstein's first big production or some crazy shit like that. So that was the movie that built the Weinstein.
Right.
Ugh. Sick bastard.
You had to bring that up.
Sick bastard.
Yikes.
All right. I haven't watched that one that much. I am going to go watch it again.
I've seen it a couple times.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
I really kind of want to get a good copy of it instead of the YouTube copy,
Good call.
And that way I can actually really appreciate it, because I know Savini is my top man for any of that stuff. And his documentary is actually really good. That's on, Shudder right now.
Okay.
It's fucking badass.
Nice.
It really is good.
I saw that was
appreciate
coming
everything
out,
he
but I
does.
haven't seen it.
No, it's really, really good. And Savini seems like a cool enough dude that he can really just walk into a place and then completely create a whole character out of nothing. You know what I mean?
Right.
Have that idea and go into it and make all the kills like legit. Like you said, more based in realism. Like some of the other fucking slasher movies are so not totally like the characters suck, everything like that.
Right.
But the very early ones are the ones. Because I'm going to segue into mine because literally mine's all bread and butter stuff. You know what I mean? I felt the same way. I went with everything that I grew up with and the things that got me into these kind of slasher movies to where I would see that box again on the shelf and be like, holy shit, I'm going to pick that one because it's got some Santa Claus dude with a fucking axe. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I'm just going to choose. That's where I kind of went with mine. So, but my number 5, this is the movie that kind of brought me back into slasher movies, which I consider this one of the best of the 90s. And at first you're like, it's kind of fucked up, just because it's another like redo kind of a deal. It was kind of almost like a reboot of slashers. And if you can guess, it was Scream.
That was actually my number 4.
Oh, see, holy shit. See?
That's cool.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, because, Scream it brought you back to it, even though, it was kind of cheesy and it was over the top, but at the same time, the kills were good. The bad guy had a fucking very good backstory for it. Neve Campbell, but she made the movie, and then, of course, you got Drew Barrymore at the very beginning.
For like 20 minutes or something. Yeah.
Well, that opening scene is great.
Yeah.
Like how they really get that ramped up and started. Like I really like that. They set the tone.
It's definitely tropey in some ways. Like it plays on all the different tropes. But I think, he pulled from all these people he'd already watched do this, like Halloween, things like that, and did it in the right way. Yeah. And then it had a little bit different of a twist in the story, which was nice, I really enjoyed that movie.
And I would say that movie is like kind of intentionally like tropey in a self-aware way too.
Exactly.
It's playing by it literally lists all the rules out, right?
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
And I have another movie later on the list. I'm not going to spoil it, but that I wanted to make this point on. But I just hate like that whole like wink, wink, nod, nod. Isn't it funny because I'm being cliche without it actually being clever about it, where it's like, what I'm trying to say? It's really hard to explain, but Scream is very good at like taking the tropes and actually like building the story around that and interjecting it to move the plot forward. Side note, my shop teacher showed us that movie in 6th grade.
God damn.
And he had to send a letter to all the parents apologizing.
Damn. Like I went to the theater and saw that because at first I was like, I'm not going to watch this movie. It's, I'm a fan of Nightmare on Elm Street, everything like that. And this is going to be crap. But then I actually went to the theater and watched it and was like, oh, you know what? I really do like this. I was kind of like almost ashamed at first, but then later on I was like, yeah, fuck it. I don't give a shit. This really brought me back into it.
Well, and I think it brought a whole generation of people back into it because when was the last killer that you could name? Like like a slasher style killer
and
before that.
Yeah. And he wasn't on a TV show like Freddy's Nightmares or some bullshit.
Well, I mean, that's what I'm saying though. That's 80s, right?
Yeah.
The Freddy stuff.
Yeah.
So,
Tales from the Dark
obviously
Side
went into the 90s, but I'm just saying the most popular time was in the 80s.
Yeah, the 80s had their heyday in horror. So you had all the horror anthology shows. You had Friday the 13th, the series, which, what the fuck was that? That was like Needful Things for TV.
It was. I love that when I was on, though.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you watched it. Shit,
yeah.
You're like, oh my God. And then he ended up being on one of the movies.
Right.
I like that Friday the 13th. Jason's Dead or whatever. What was the fucking name of that one? It was so that everybody hated it.
Jason Goes to Hell?
Yes.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Yeah, that movie's terrible.
I like that movie. I like it because it's over the top.
I honestly haven't seen it in like probably 15 years.
It's so bad, like whenever he vomits up the fucking Jason turd out of his mouth and eats the heart.
I've been meaning to revisit that lately, actually.
It's pretty bad.
That's where South Park got that.
Yeah. It's pretty bad. Yep. And for some reason, it's got a spot in my heart. And, that was kind of one of the last ones that came out, before Scream. And then Scream kind of hit it and then brought everybody back into the fold. And now
something new, like a little refresh on it, and especially for the times. You know what I mean? That's a big thing.
Yeah. Well, that's my number 5 is Scream.
So my number 5, I'm just so you guys know on my list, I just put the movies that I like and I think are the top 5. I don't give a fuck what any of you think.
Okay.
Right on. Good.
So my number 5 is actually a little spin on the slasher, and it's called Pandemonium from 1982. It starred Carol Kane. If Carol Kane was Andy Kaufman's wife on Taxi.
Yeah. She was in
she's
that
been
movie.
in a ton of things, Princess Bride.
She was on that
jazz.
movie, The Bleeps, or some shit like that.
Yeah. So this, I'll give you a real quick premise. Basically, there's a bunch of cheerleaders at camp are murdered.
Oh.
And then this is a girl that was at that one of the camps, and she lived, and she starts a cheerleader camp, and everybody's like, "Oh, everybody's gonna die." But what makes this movie great is you think they do kind of lead you to believe that the murderer are these escaped convict. There's an escaped convict who gets picked up by an escaped insane asylum escapee.
What?
That's a lot of escapes.
Yeah. Well, this movie's going to go that way. So they kind of lead you to believe. No, I'm telling you. And well, let me tell you, the first kill, there is a javelin throw that pierces 4 cheerleaders. One's carrying like a mushroom, one's carrying a pepper. So like when they,
What?
Yeah, so they look like a shish kebab when they land.
No.
Anyway,
what is this called again?
Pandemonium.
I'm writing it down right
From
now.
1982. Oh, it gets better. So the protagonist, not just Carol Kane, but because she's starting her new thing, but is the Royal Canadian Mountie, which he never says that correctly throughout the whole movie, and it's Tom Smothers.
Oh, goddamn.
Nice.
His deputy, Paul Rubens, or Pee Wee Herman. This movie is.
How have I not seen this?
I don't know. I've watched this wait, it gets better. Judge Reinhold's in this.
What?
I just came.
Billy Rosewood is in this
Mark
movie.
McClure. He's the guy that played Jimmy Olsen in the old Superman movies with Christopher Reeves.
God
He
damn.
was also Marty McFly's older brother.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He's the one who worked at Burger King.
Yeah. He plays one of the male. So all of one of the male cheerleaders, and they're all named. It's like Sandy, Mandy, Randy, Andy, Candy, and then Glenn, and that's Judge Reinhold. But his name's Glenn Dandy. Anyways, so this is just a great spin on that kind of a movie, and it's definitely a parody. I enjoyed this because I watched it like a bazillion times when I was a little kid. I have older siblings, and we had HBO and all those silly things. So they would make me watch. That's why I've watched Grease and Oliver Twist way more than I'd ever want to, because I had 2 older sisters.
Shit. I grew up in only
Sound of Music for me on that one.
Gotcha. But yeah, so I would say check that out. If nothing else, Phil Hartman's in this.
Where is it?
By the way,
can you watch it?
He's it's all free on YouTube. Actually, I watched it last night.
Oh, holy shit! I'm gonna
Wait,
watch
so
it
it sounds
today.
like there's a lot of like the Groundlings comedy crew in this. 'cause
Yeah.
Paul Rubens and Phil Hartman. Yeah, I need to.
Phil
find
Hartman's
this
bit
immediately.
is very small in it, but yeah, Paul Rubens is in it nonstop, and he's just like he's not the favorite deputy because Tom Smothers is constantly riding a horse in this movie. Like even when he sits at his desk, he's on a horse. Yeah.
What the fuck?
Oh, dude,
Is it a comedy?
Oh, it's a total comedy.
Oh, okay.
It's just a parody of a slasher, basically.
It's got to
Right
be
on.
at this point.
But yeah, so that's my number 5.
I'm surprised that wasn't on USA Up All Night.
It may have been. That could have been where I watched it. I remember
Probably,
watching
yeah.
it like 5 or 6 times as a kid.
Damn.
that actually sounds like a good one.
It was right before Burger College.
And it's going to be terrible. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to hype it up too much, but I enjoyed it. I laughed my ass off.
There's a lot of those movies like
Drink
that.
beers or whatever you do to get your mind in the right place before you watch it.
All right, Mitch, you're not partaking in this one, right?
No, I just 99% of slashers, I just don't really get behind. I have a few, but at the same time, not enough to make a top 5.
Oh, that's all right. What's one of your mentions?
Honestly, I'd have to look it up again because that's how little I even do it. But I saw a list and I was like, oh yeah, that movie, but that's not even remotely the slashers that they're gonna do. It's a lot more new agey a little bit. So I was like,
yeah. Maybe a little honorable mentions at the end if you.
Yeah. I'll look them up real fast and I'll let you guys know.
Cool. Okay. All right, Bobby, what's your number 4?
My number 4 is the only Italian one I have on my list. Despite everything I just said a few minutes ago. Michele Soavi's, I think that's how you pronounce his name. He was actually, I want to say, one of Argento's proteges. Probably best known for Cemetery Man and some other flicks called The Church and The Sect, which are also worth watching. But my favorite of his is called Stage Fright, a.k.a. Deliria, a.k.a. Aquarius, a.k.a. Bloody Bird.
I love the Italian movies just because you get the multiple titles.
Yes.
Yes, he had to release it in multiple markets, and they're like, this doesn't translate well. Bloody Bird does not sound ominous, and actually it does. I would go see a movie called Bloody Bird, to be honest. But so basically, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Pieces, which is another slasher that almost made my list, and another Italian director, but it's that weird junction where like it has that Italian giallo feel to it, but it's played in the key of like campy 70s like teenagers getting killed, right? So this is like late 80s, I want to say like 87, 88. And it's basically about a group of drama nerds that are locked in a theater for like some last minute rehearsal all-nighters, which I'm sure we can all identify with. And then they just start getting picked off by a big creepy man in an owl mask. It's that good. All right. I don't feel like but the thing with Italian horror directors in general is what I've noticed is that like no matter how cheesy or lowbrow or schlocky or low budget the film that they're working on may be, they all seem to try to set up every shot and use their resources as best they can,
100%.
Frame by frame, to make it look high quality or make it look like there's a lot of effort or love into it. And this is just like a pro level example of what I'm talking about when I say that. Each frame is like a work of art.
Nice.
And it's not so campy that it's like so bad it's good. It's just like comfortably 80s, and then it's a slasher about a man with a bird mask on. Can't recommend it enough.
Yes.
So
no. I mean,
that was the preface to Court of Owls from Batman.
There you go.
Nice.
It was a Batman.
It was a Batman setup the whole time.
I've really liked the old zombie movies from back then. They're like Zombie, like I guess they called it Zombie 2. I love the way that those movies look, and then Felucci stuff is so. I was watching. Didn't he do Demons?
Yes. Was that Bava? I don't know. Yeah, someone like that. I was gonna. I don't mean to cut you off, but I was gonna say I prefer the Italian zombie stuff over their like traditional, precursor stuff.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
Because they had like City of the Dead too, and that one's a weird looking one. I mean, I really liked all of those kind of movies like that, and I never really got a chance because they didn't ever have them. Those are those things that you would see like late night on IFC or some shit when IFC was cool. Yep. That's been
a while.
But I know, right? Since like 1995. Mm-hmm. And then, finding those movies now you can, and especially like on Tubi. Tubi's got tons of fucking good horror movies. So you can always go and you can get into that genre and you can watch them. So, I mean, I've always been a fan of Felucci and all those guys like that, and Argento, just because I knew him from Dawn of the Dead and things like that. So that's one of those things that I kind of have always wanted to get into and watch more. But those are late night movies because my wife would be like, this is disgusting. What are you watching this shit for?
In a great like transition from a slasher fan into Italian is straight up Stage Fright. I think it's on YouTube still for free, but I'm not sure. But like, it's so good.
I've seen it. Yeah,
I'll have to check that out. Cemetery Man's one of my top 25 movies of all time.
Hell yeah!
So
Just watched that one the other day.
Nice.
Boy,
I still know the poem from the end.
I know what you're talking about.
Oh my god.
No, all right. So my number 4, which I always adapt my list and then I change it up a little bit, because I'm gonna drop one, just because my list is always fluid. But I'm really gonna put Friday the 13th Part 3 as my number 4, because that was the movie that really hooked me on Friday the 13th. It was, I mean, the characters in it were really good, and I mean, like we were talking the other day, Bobby, on Instagram about Shelley.
Yeah, by the way, this is my number 4 or 3, actually.
Oh shit! No way.
So
This is gonna be funny when I do my 3, but keep going. Oh no.
Cross-pollination there in the list. And like
you
I said,
just purge Friday Part 3 right now.
Part 3 is good. You guys go.
Yeah. Part 3 was like, that was the movie that hooked me like big time. Part 2 was always so cool, but I remember that it came out on HBO or Showtime and my dad recorded it. So he had 2, 3, and 4 all on the same tape.
Okay.
But I always watched 3 because of the bikers were fucking badass, you know? And then fucking just the way he died at the very end of it. I mean, everything in that movie was fucking awesome. Even the look of the film was really good too. But it was a 3D one, so I never knew it was in 3D until I like got really old. And then I was like, oh, they really released that in 3D. That's why they were pointing the eye at the fucking camera and shit like that. And the dude was like, he put up the little stick and shit like that to the guy that was eating the donuts and drinking the orange juice and eating the peanuts in his fucking barn store or whatever the fuck it was. How did a rabbit get all the way the fuck up there in the lettuce? I don't know. That was just one of the things. Like, I was watching it the other day and I fell asleep through it because I've seen it like so many times. I'm not going to put a number on it.
And Shelley is like the unfunny Seth Rogen.
Yes.
Oh, God.
The unfuckable Seth.
Oh.
He's so bad. He's so bad in that movie.
Yeah.
And it's like you get hooked up with this hot ass Mexican chick, right? And then you're like, oh, my life is in my box. And he's still got to pull some bullshit out on him. And they're like, dude, you're a douchebag. Why you got to put fake blood on you? I like it.
Oh, no.
Yep. That was me.
I could never do
by the
makeup.
way, I totally got confused. That's not any of my picks. I confused it with something else. It'll make sense in a minute.
Yeah. Friday the 13th Part 3 is like, I don't know, that if you were to jump into a series as long as they are and as many movies as they got, you'll get everything in that one. You know, you got 4 with Feldman, and Feldman was...
Let's just go ahead and segue right there, and we'll talk about some Friday the 13th for a minute. Because Part 4 is my number 3.
Nice.
Because this was... And I really had a hard time with 2 and 4, because I liked them both. I thought Jason was a bit creepier in 2 than anything, but this was like, he's like full on psychotic madhouse, you know what I mean? Which I like, you know?
Supernatural.
Yeah, well, I mean, just like he busting through walls and stuff, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But of course you get Corey Feldman, like, who's pretty crazy in that movie himself.
Yeah.
And you get an early Crispin Glover.
Yes.
With that crazy, you know, he's just a crazy character. But this was the movie that I probably watched the most out of them. That's why I put it on my list.
Yeah.
This was kind of my go-to Jason with a hockey mask.
Sure.
Yeah, because this was the second movie that he had it.
Right.
Yeah, so Part 3 had the introduction of the hockey mask whenever he shoots a dude with the harpoon. Like, I mean, who has a fucking harpoon at a fucking lake? I mean, what's big enough in a lake that you have a fucking harpoon with you? You know what I mean?
You know, Nessie? I don't know.
I don't know. This movie, though, like, I watch it, you know, at least once a year. And, you know, especially on Friday the 13th, I try to watch them all, you know, just because. And then I usually get about 6 in, and then I'm like, I'm done.
I'll be honest.
Seen it too many times.
I've watched all of them.
Yeah.
Of course. But if I'm going to go to, it's probably the first 4.
Yeah.
I'll watch any of those.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And, you know, I mean, Part 5, The New Beginning, actually had some really cool stuff in it.
That's a great one.
Yeah, and it's so
okay.
kind of underrated for
okay.
the series, and it's not even Jason. So there's
Right.
2 movies out of there that Jason wasn't the killer. Spoiler alert if you haven't ever fucking seen them. But it was really cool that there was somebody else taking on his mantle. But then I think that's what they planned on doing was making Corey Feldman's character kind of grow up and become the new Jason anyway.
Well, yeah, and this was really because you do get more of that Tommy Jarvis, right?
Yeah,
Wasn't that his name?
Yeah.
Yep.
As like kind of the arch nemesis, I guess.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, he was like, I don't know. I mean, whenever he was a kid and he grows up and he's making masks,
Right.
you know, so like he took on Shelley's role. And then
He's far more tolerable than Shelley.
yeah, I know. Yeah. And then Crispin Glover fucking in part 4 was just like a total maxi zoom dweeby, whatever.
Yep. The dance scene is just memorable. Like people are like, what's your favorite kill from the Friday series? I'm like, I don't know. When Crispin Glover does that dance, no one dies, but it's like the most memorable thing.
Except for the entire audience. That was
it
painful
totally
to watch.
killed everybody. No, that was that's why my number 4 is or did I already say 4? Yeah.
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
Yeah.
And like I said, my 3 is part 4. So that was weird that you had part 3 and then I had part 4, but it's my 3rd pick, my 4th pick. Anyways, math.
Okay. Who's up?
I think we're at Bobby now because I just sprung off of yours.
Okay. So here's how I tie this all together because I'm about to throw a wrench in the gears here.
Ooh.
In the Friday the 13th talk.
Okay.
I do love 3. It's weird and cheesy and fun. 4 is tied almost for my number 1 Friday movie, but my number 1 Friday movie is actually part 2.
That's where I had the issue as well. Like I said.
Yeah.
I am a baghead Jason guy through and through. I don't care that it's like straight ripoff of The Town That Dreaded Sundown because it looks exactly the same. As
100%.
But for all intents and purposes, though this is the second Friday the 13th movie, this is the first Jason movie.
Yes.
And yes, granted, he doesn't have a hockey mask yet. But if the first Friday movie is like a handshake with Jason at the end, Friday 2 is like the beautiful steak dinner at Ruth's Chris with Jason, where you really, that first date that just goes swimmingly and you really get to know him. Not to mention that like Jenny is like my favorite last girl in any slasher ever.
She was the smartest out of all of them.
Yeah.
She's actually smart and the ending is both like kind of a familiar, how should I put this? Like a familiar nod to the original, but it like stands on its own by itself. That makes sense. But you also get to like see his shack and his mom's like decrepit head. Like, when I saw this movie, it actually wasn't that long ago when I watched Friday Part 2 for the first time in like a long time. And I remember thinking, oh, this is a pretty good, like, cut and dry, no pun intended, paint by number slasher. And then when you first go into Jason's shack and see that head, it's like, holy shit. And then the end of that movie just makes it for me. That is my favorite Friday movie. I love Jason Lives and I love New Beginning as well. But that number 2 is just an awesome follow. It's one of the great sequels of all time, I think.
Yeah, as a sequel, it does stand alone because the first one, Pamela was doing all the killing. But what I've been trying to figure out here for the past couple of weeks, I don't know why I've been thinking about this, the timeline of between 1 and 2. How long after? Because the original woman was still alive. You know what I mean? From Friday 1. Right. So how long did it take for him to find her in New Jersey or wherever he was at? That's where I'm kind of wondering because he was just walking down the street basically, So I don't know how long that timeline was. I know it's not within the same week and shit like that.
Right.
Let's say 6 months.
Yeah. I was thinking it was something like a while, but then I'm like, well, maybe, he's got that ice pick somewhere.
I mean, that's one of the beautiful things about slasher franchises in general, like there is continuity issues or like things like that. Where it's like Jason Takes Manhattan. It's like, how did you get on a boat from Camp Crystal Lake in New Jersey
to New York,
and you went into the Atlantic Ocean, and you know, like it's like, but it doesn't even matter, right?
No,
it's just
no.
like I'm not here for consistency or continuity.
I was there for the music videos on that one.
No, there
You
you
know,
go.
the chick playing the fucking Flying V, and she's like, "Yeah."
Wasn't 2 the one that had bacon in it too?
No, that was one.
Was that one?
Yeah,
Yeah, I couldn't
Kevin Bacon
remember.
was in the
It's
first
been a minute,
one.
but yeah.
Part 2. I don't think there was really anybody that was like too famous in it, but
I remember Ginny, of course, because
Yeah.
like you said, she was by far the smartest of them all.
yeah, she.
Yeah,
I
I love that character.
Well, that's the cool part about most of the Friday the 13th is they did have the female was the and that fits into the slasher part of it too. I mean, big time with like Halloween and stuff like that.
Right.
I mean, it's always the females that it comes down to. They end up being like Ripley and fucking, you know, aliens and shit.
Chainsaw.
Yeah. And they actually do that. I mean, it's kind of almost, I don't know. It kind of fits in a weird way that it defines that genre almost in a lot of parts. I mean, you got the bloody horror movies that are just nothing but like people getting slashed in the throat and fucking bleeding out.
Hostile.
Yeah, like weird is like gross to be gross and shit.
Right.
And it's blood to be blood. But I mean, the kills were calculated, but I always like how he sets everything up to people run into shit. Like he knows, you know, he's like, okay, this is my game plan, boss. I'm going to run. I'm going to chase her, but I'm going to walk. I'm not going to run. And she's going to walk into this room and this body's going to come down and hit her. And then she's going to look under the bed and there's like a foot and she's going to scream. And then I'm going to be in the next room like, ha ha ha. You know, he's got a roadmap of what he's going to do with them.
Right. Sure.
You know, it's like, oh, this corkscrew will work. Let me hammer this dude to the door.
Right.
Why do they got 2 corkscrews? I don't know.
But it did come in handy.
Oh yeah.
Yes. All right, Dan.
I think we're over to you.
Oh, we over to me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. My number 3. Are we on 3, right? Yes.
You are. I'm on 2, so we've kind of,
cool.
because of mergings and cross-pollination.
I changed my list, and you know, this one, I would almost say is one of those that every time I watch it, it gets better and better and better and better and better. But it's Halloween, the first one.
That's my number 1.
Thank God you said the first one.
The first Halloween is legit.
Oh my God, dude. That's my number 1 slasher of all time.
Yeah.
I think it set the pace for everything.
It transcends things. I remember my parents telling me that when they went and saw it in the theater, people were screaming. You don't get that anymore. You know, people were yelling like, don't go in there, shit like that, you know. The Shape was such a intimidating character. He was such a, I don't know, he was a shape, you know. I mean, and the supernatural aspect coming into all of this stuff too is just kind of weird. It's like, how can he keep going? I mean, it's just a mental thing. And I would almost really say you almost sweep away all the rest of them, even though like 4 and 5 are pretty cool. And then it was Ant-Man versus Michael Myers. That's the one that I was like, I went and saw that in the theater and I was like, oh, this kind of sucks. And then it was really supernatural. But once you get to the Halloween 2018, I think those two as bookends, you can almost get rid of all the middle parts and then just have those. Right. The way they set it up. And then, you know, Rob Zombies were like, they were cool.
They're all right. I don't know. This one, the first one ever, John Carpenter's, is definitely my number 1. I think it set, like, here's the POV style for a lot of things that came afterwards. I don't know. It just changed everything, obviously. And
yeah,
that was such a commercial hit based off the budget they had as well.
Yeah, it was one of the most.
Carpenter's amazing, though. I'm a big fan.
Yeah, so. Yeah, we all are in this room, except for maybe Mitch.
The only reason Halloween didn't make my list is because I knew that someone would have it on there, but it could very, very easily be on mine because it is the ultimate. You know, it's the pace car. It is the one that. The only thing with it doesn't have the like group of teen like the body count in one place, and that's what I love about it. It's a slasher, but it stands on its own as well, and it's fucking amazing. Yeah, and John Carpenter's a god, so yeah.
Well, I mean, the point of view shots that they had in the new one. that they did, and this is the only thing I'm going to really say about it. They have a couple of point of view shots and a couple of tracking shots that are fucking fantastic.
Absolutely. I like that. I mean, I absolutely love
watched a couple of those, and it was just
not as much as I liked the original.
Yeah. I was like, this is fucking great. Like I couldn't believe it, because the first one, you know, it hooks you so good, and then you get in the further the movies go, then they get into the more of the Michael character. You don't know what his motivation is, but you think it's, you know, brother and sister. Right. And then fucking then you have Kung Fu fighting with what's his name? What was that dude's God, not Master P. Who was the rapper that was in Halloween 7 or 8?
Busta Rhymes.
Busta Rhymes.
Yeah. Yes. When he comes out Kung Fu fighting on the reality show. Come on. Even Resurrection wasn't bad, but it wasn't great. Yeah. But she chops off his head in that one. And then...
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. I mean, who else is doing it?
Nope.
I haven't watched the last, 3 in, forever.
Gotcha.
You know, I really liked 4 because he takes down the whole police station, and 5, which was the next day. So they kind of try to do what they did with 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Even though 3's bitching.
I think if there could have been some better continuity with what was going on between 4 and 5, that really cemented, because it was really ambiguous and weirdly filmed.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah.
You know.
No, I like 3, and I wish that Carpenter got to do his anthology stuff, because 3 was completely different movie. It should have been.
Yeah, if we're counting 3, it is 100% my second favorite in the whole series.
Yeah.
It obviously doesn't have Michael Myers, but and I'm one of these people that was kind of converted to it later on, because at first I was straight up like, this is bullshit. This is not a Michael Myers movie. What is this? And then as I got older and wiser, I watched it again. I'm like, this movie's incredible. Like, just if you're bothered by the fact that it's titled Halloween, just ignore that and watch it as a standalone movie. And it's one of the best Tom Atkins movies ever made.
Yeah.
And that was the same for me too. When I first watched it, I'm like, what is this garbage? You know? And then you go back and watch it when you're older.
Yeah. Whenever
I watch it every year in October.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it's one of those movies that I'll watch once a year too, just because it's there.
Yeah,
you know, it's a pretty good one. All right, where are we at?
So it would be my number 2, I believe.
Okay, hit your number 2.
My number 2 is A Nightmare on Elm Street.
Who does number 2 work for?
Sorry. Anyway,
my number 2 is A Nightmare on Elm Street.
Okay, that's my number 1.
Fair.
Yeah, that was the only movie in the history of movies that has ever scared me.
That was a scary movie as a youth, for sure. Like watching it for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly don't think I watched any of those movies till I was well into my teens, because I was so horrified of the entire series.
Yeah. Oh man, that one right there. Whenever he's running in she's having that first dream sequence, and he's running through the fucking alley, and his arms are extended. It looks so cheesy and bad, but it's this is a fucking dream.
Yeah.
You know, there's no end to the possibilities for it. And Freddy was such a fucking badass in that first one. God,
absolutely. And I like that series of movies. Maybe not all of them.
Yeah,
but. You know, I definitely like this one. This one was definitely one of those movies that really, truly scared me as a kid.
It's very akin to the Friday movies, where after number 4 or so, it's kind of hit or miss, I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
You don't need to be in a big hurry to see any of those after number 4.
No, yeah. I mean, 1 was so fucking crazy. Dragging, whenever her body's being dragged through the school. And they're just throwing in all this weird shit. Like the chick's like, "Where's your hall pass?" You know, I mean, what the fuck? I mean, there's just so many different parts in this movie that were fucking legit scary.
And it was an original, to me at least at the time. It was an original idea.
Yeah.
It's not something that had really been expounded on over and over again. You know?
Yeah, they really did open up a whole new everything for it.
Yeah,
yeah, and I mean when they kind of get to Part 4, what was that? That was the Dream Child, wasn't it?
Yes.
4 was Dream Child.
Because 3 was...
3 was Dream Warriors.
Right.
2 was the gay one.
Mm-hmm.
It was.
Yeah,
it's very gay.
Yeah,
very gay.
Yeah, because some dude gets his ass whooped by a goddamn
I remember.
fucking towel and shit. What the fuck was that?
Is there anything gayer than that?
In a shower?
I have a love-hate with Wes Craven as far as those like 80s Titans goes. He's probably at the bottom of my list. Like I always found The Hills Have Eyes to be relatively overrated, and Last House on the Left is just like makes me want to take a shower.
Yeah.
Like, but I mean, you just can't fuck with Nightmare on Elm Street.
No.
You can't, like, you can have your weird idiosyncratic criticisms about horror icons like I do, but that movie. And then the other one I love by him is Deadly Friend, which is kind of a dark horse of his that came out in the 80s as well. I don't know whose turn it is, but I have a good segue.
Well, it's actually your turn, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. My next one is actually Nightmare on Elm Street 3, The Dream Warriors.
Nice. Because you like Dokken?
That has a lot to do with it.
Are you talking about Urban Dictionary, Dokken?
No, the band.
Okay, thank God. Because I was like,
Donald Dokken.
Thank God. Don't search that.
Just in general, what I love about Freddy is he's not your Michael Myers, Jason Voorhees, silent killer with no personality, which that has its place, obviously, but he has a personality and it works. So, like, if you look at like Jaws, like you don't see Jaws until like 45 minutes into the movie. It's just this lurking like thing off in the background that is coming. And it is scary when it arrives and it builds that anticipation. But with Freddy, it pulls it off where it's like it's no holds barred in all these movies for the most part, like from the very beginning. He does not have a mask of any. Well, I guess he has like technically a burn victim mask, but you know what I mean, though. And that trope of the silent killer has its place in the genre, but the fact that Robert Englund makes this work so well as this campy, psychotic pedophile with quippy, radioactive man one-liners.
Yeah.
And still remains terrifying on top of that.
Exactly.
That first movie cemented that look for him, It cemented the whole, just if he was a silhouette, you would know exactly what Freddy looked like,
Right.
Well, and it's that twisted sense of humor, like you mentioned, that he no holds barred.
Yeah.
Right. And it says part 3 is as scary as it is fun. I think it's my favorite kills. It's my favorite one-liners. I feel like the one-liners kind of became another level of tongue in cheek in that one. And it just checks all the boxes, the deaths, the sequences, the set pieces of the kills. You get a little origin story of Freddy beyond just, the parents murdered him with fire. And then you get the kids fighting back with their dream powers. Like, it's just like, it's so bananas and insane.
But it's pretty bitchin', though. All the way through.
Super bitchin'.
Yeah.
Yeah. And on top of that, you got Dokken during the title track. So it's like, this movie is 1987. When I think 1987, it's like Dream Warriors straight up. Like, that was the year, Like, fuck Reagan, just watch Dream Warriors.
Yes.
I don't know. Princess Bride came out that year.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
That was the movie I chose in our battle of the 80s.
Yeah.
Or the year, rather.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's for another episode.
Yeah.
No, yeah. Progressively, and I think, like you said, with the one-liners became a part of his character from then on out. And it was like you were looking forward to those one-liners on everything, just like Arnold Schwarzenegger's shit, like "stick around,"
right?
Right.
I'll kill you last.
My eyes, the goggles do nothing.
Yes.
But Freddy would say stuff that had the word "bitch" in it, and you know what I mean, like no holds
Welcome
barred.
to prime time, bitch.
Exactly. So he would curse, and it was just abrasive, like the tongue coming out of the phone, all that. You're like,
He always had. They always
and then
had
there's a scene in Dream Warriors where he he seduces a kid with the hot nurse, and then she gets naked, starts making out with him, and then her tongue extends and shoots out and ties his wrist to the bed.
Yes, I remember.
S&M nightmare, and then the bed falls into the pits of hell while he's tied to the bed frame, and Freddy's like, tongue-tied. I'm like, this is just fucking brilliant. It's just like, oh my God.
It hits everything perfect. Yeah. No, I was about to watch that one last night after our conversation on Instagram too.
Well, that's a perfect movie for 1987 because, like you said, you got the people with their dream powers. So, like, you know, if you're a superhero kid, you're into that. That's cool.
Yeah.
You've got the horror side already.
Yeah.
You know, so
you
that
got
was
the
like
badass chick with the fucking blades.
Yeah. So you got that's fucking home run, brother.
When she's in that weird leather punk rock S&M thing, I'm just like, oh God. Anyway.
Okay, so we back on me?
Yeah, in fact, we are.
Okay, so you already said my number one.
You already said my number one.
And then, so I'm going to say my number two.
Fair.
And this is like one of my all-time favorite movies of all time. This was my 1986 pick. This was everything.
I know.
It was Friday the 13th, part 6. Yeah. I think part 6 is like the greatest fucking Jason movie. One of the greatest movies of all time. I mean, even, you know, the Michael Dudikoff lead guy, you know what I mean? He was only in like fucking 5 things, you know? What's his name? Tom or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, the cop is fucking cool, man. They get in a fucking car chase in a Jason movie. You know what I mean? And they go to Karloff's fucking restaurant and shit, or the Karloff's what was it, garage or some shit like that. So there's so many things that they threw into it to make it fucking over the top, but yet he was still fucking scary as shit. I think this was the first one that I saw in the theater when this one came out. Like, I went to school the next day and was like drawing Jason on my fucking Trapper Keeper and shit like that. Like making his weapons, and all the teachers are like, "Oh, you like those movies, huh?" And I'm like, "Yeah, this is pretty cool." So yeah, I probably
no teacher questions.
Yeah,
making weapons.
Yeah, that was in my permanent file.
Okay, just double checking.
Yeah, we're gonna put this in your permanent file. What? Okay, I like Friday the 13th.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
But I mean, I love the lines in it. It's like, wherever the red dot goes, bang. I wish they would have really thrown in like his father spot into it too. You know what I mean? Like really have a little bit like they said, and even too like I still. Right now, the Teenage Frankenstein song is in my head right now, just because he's like, "Whoa, this thing!
Oh yeah,
this thing is so awesome, yo!" And he's like, got it cranked up, and she's like, "Court," and she gets her head fucking just smashed through the goddamn side of the camper,
right?
And then like he flips, and even the nerds that were doing the little the paintball. You know, and then the one guy's like, oh, he trips and the fucking gun flies away. And then he's fucking chopping off everybody's arm because there's that one dude. There's so many cool one act characters, you know, that are just like all thrown in together. It's all just like pushed. There's so much material in it. And at the very end of it, you're like, yes, he's finally gone. He's at the bottom of the lake. I don't know why he doesn't turn upside down either. You know, he must have like lead in his boots or some shit like that to where he could actually like stay floating.
They are the heaviest boots.
Yeah, I know, right? So, I mean, like because he comes back in the next one and it's with the psychic chick. And she brings him up, you know? Yeah. That was pretty bad too. But this one was...
It's watchable.
Yeah, it's pre-Kane Hodder too, because Kane Hodder came in that one, right. Part 7. But part 6, I mean, even the beginning part, it's got fucking Horshack in it, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Fucking, they electrocute him back to life like it's fucking, he was meant to be alive.
Right.
You know what I mean? And yeah, no. Even when the chick has the credit cards and fucking, she's like, here, take all of the credit cards, and he disappears and it's like smoosh. I think they're even driving.
I mean, you got to respect that whole series just for like the way in which like the creative was like, we got to bring this guy back to life somehow. Like, it's not really him, and one of them was like, we're gonna have the lightning bolt hit his tombstone.
Yeah.
Like, what? Okay, let's go.
The previews to that where the lightning would strike the tombstone and explode it and shit. It's like, you're like, yeah. Yeah, I remember going to the Dollar Theater to see that one.
This is the one that brought a little more meta humor into it too, I think.
Kind of.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Or self-aware.
Wait, are we talking about A New Beginning?
Jason Lives, right?
Jason Lives.
Jason Lives. Yeah. Yes. Okay. Cool. Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah, that one was like the Back to Form one, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's almost a soft reboot.
Yeah, because they got rid of all the Tommy Jarvis
got rid of all
stuff. Yeah.
Well, they got rid of Tommy Jarvis and they get rid of like, hey, we need a girl with psychic powers because we don't know what to do with this character anymore.
Yeah.
And they're like, we just have to kind of like hit the reset button and get back to form. And that's what's great about that movie.
Yeah. I mean, it really does. I mean, it hits, and then until you get to Jason Goes to Manhattan, and then again, it was like, dude, stop. You know? And, you know, Jason Goes to Hell, though, was one of those movies. It was just so weird. They should have stopped before that.
Sure.
They still only have 12 movies, you know, out of.
I think technically Jason Goes to Hell isn't even like considered a Friday movie because like the franchise, they just bought the character or something. They couldn't use the title. I don't know, something like that.
Yeah, it was like it was supposed to. I remember when that movie came out, they were already pushing a Freddy versus Jason movie at Spencer Gifts.
Well, at the end of that movie, isn't that where we see the hockey mask?
Yeah. Kane Hodder's hand come in. You know, he's like, I played Freddy too,
right?
You know, whatever. That's a good documentary on Shudder too. Is a Kane Hodder one. It's pretty good. But you know, that was about. That kind of was a precursor to shit like the fucking Wishmaster and shit like that, you know, where they would bring in all those people, and Wishmaster was like over the fucking top.
Yeah.
Like to the extreme over the top with the cheesy one-liners and the fucking crazy ass deaths. And it was just weird. Like,
is that worth watching?
Yes.
Sorry,
the first one. The first one.
Watch the first Wishmaster.
I don't think I've ever seen Wishmaster. Okay, cool.
Just watch it and, you know, take it with a grain of salt. You got to see all the cameos from everybody in that movie, which are pretty cool.
Right.
Okay.
Because like everybody's in it.
Yes.
Which is that's really like the coolest part. Bad guy, he's a genie, so oh great. But yeah, Friday the 13th Part 6 is my number 2, and you know my number 1 was Nightmare on Elm Street. But I just can't say enough about Part 6. I just love it. I want to get a black and white copy of it to watch it like that.
Nice,
because it's supposed to really.
Or you could just adjust the color on your TV.
Yeah, exactly. No, they put the first like 10 minutes in black and white on YouTube, and it's really fucking cool.
Oh, I'm sure. Sure.
Yeah.
I just like to give you shit about that, buying black and white copies of things.
Well, might as well.
Just wasting money.
Yeah.
A side note, there's like a thing online that I found where it's like you adjust the audio, like the EQ on your TV enough, and you adjust the contrast on your TV, and you can watch Blade Runner as an actual film noir.
Oh, nice.
Ooh.
I've been wanting to do it. It's like way cooler than the whole like Pink Floyd Wizard of Oz thing.
Yeah.
In my opinion. But anyway.
that would be pretty cool. Yeah. Fucking Blade Runner.
I got to find that. I'll send it to you guys.
Yeah,
for sure.
Oh, yeah. All right. So,
Bobby, do we have your number 1 left?
I actually have 2 left, but I can skip to number 1 if you want.
No, hit your 2 up.
Are we pressed for time?
No. We've cannibalized some of our other ones, so I think it's all to you now.
Yeah. Great minds, you know. Okay, so my number 2 is a little more recent one. I think it's an absolute genius work of art that I will be watching until I am an invalid in a nursing home. Drew Goddard and Josh Whedon's Cabin in the Woods.
Oh, yeah.
It's a good movie.
And like I said earlier, normally I hate the whole like, hey, it's cliche. That's the joke. Get it? Like that whole thing. But this movie just says so much in regards to the horror genre in general, while still pulling it off in the most insane, orgasmic last 20 minutes I've ever seen in a movie. That just absolutely blew my mind. I had not felt that way about a film when I first watched it since I was like a really little kid, where I was like, oh my God, that kind of thing.
Keeps you on the edge of your seat the whole time, and you're kind of waiting.
So if you've never seen it, it's basically your cookie cutter slasher, but it has its own brand of fun twist. And I don't even really want to say more than that if you've never seen it.
Agreed.
Just please go watch that movie.
It's on Netflix right now, isn't it? Or Hulu?
Yeah.
One of them.
And what I love about it too is like considering like the ending of that movie and the entire thesis of the film, it's just perfect that it's not remotely set up to create a franchise out of it, and it better not. It better just leave it alone. So Cabin in the Woods, I cannot. That is my number 2. It's my number 2 of all time. It just is.
But there's so many movies that they see a glimmer of hope to add in the second, third, fourth, and they usually get 3 into it, and you're like, fuck, man, you ruined the first one so much.
Absolutely.
There's so many movies that the first one, if it didn't have a sequel, would be okay, but like this one, yeah, you're right. I mean, it needs to be 100% like by itself, alone,
right,
and enjoy it for what it is, and don't try to milk it.
Yep.
The whole thesis of the film is like almost poking fun, yet a love letter to horror franchises, but it's also like, hey, we need to start trying to do something else.
Yes.
So if they were to make a sequel or make a franchise out of it, it would negate the entire message of the first movie.
Yeah.
That being said, if they made a sequel, would I go see it? You bet your sweet ass I would. So there's that as well.
And it is streaming on Shudder and Hulu right now.
Oh, it's on both?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to get my wife to watch it the other day.
Nice.
He was like, I don't know, maybe. And I was like, let's watch it.
Is it Mitch that hasn't watched a lot of slashers?
Yeah, I have not.
Have you seen Cabin in the Woods?
I remember when it came out, but I feel like I'm not talking about the same movie. Is it Johnny Depp?
No. You're thinking of Secret Window.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
That's a way different movie.
I have not seen this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna check it out for sure because newer ones I seem to get more. And I hate to say that because I do like a lot of older stuff. It's just slashers were never a childhood thing. Very strict upbringing.
Yeah,
right on.
Broke out of that now, but yeah. For childhood.
Yeah, no, we could all give you a list of movies.
Oh yeah, I've already asked like Brock at work so many times for a list, and we're just writing them down. Just like, all right, cool.
Try this one. Try this one.
Exactly.
Try that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. We still got your number 1, Bobby.
Yeah.
Oh, my last one? Okay.
Yeah.
This is the film that it was my first love when it comes to slashers. And I'll preface by saying, well, this isn't even a genre. It's just a thing I've noticed about myself. I love early 80s movies that still feel like the 1970s. For whatever reason, those always work for me. An example would be one called Extra or The Pit. There's countless other ones. I want to say, what's the George C. Scott one? The Changeling, I think, was like
a fucking great movie, too.
Yeah, but it still feels 70s, right?
Yeah.
For whatever reason, I don't know why. But my number 1 of all time is Sleepaway Camp.
Yeah, we've talked about that recently.
Yeah.
You have.
Just personally, not on the show or anything.
Yeah.
Okay. It's one thing that drives me crazy about slashers, especially the Italian ones, and that kind of echoes into the genre in general, is like they are slow at times, right?
Yes.
There are long-winded dialogue-y like sequences where you're just like, all right, I just want to see some crazy shit. Sleepaway Camp is never boring, not once in the entire runtime of the movie. The dialogue is weird and off-putting, awkward. Every single scene has something entertaining in it. It's DIY, it's punk rock, it oozes love. You have like aggro Italian / Jewish / East Coast kids like yelling at each other. Pretty solid kills. I mean, for God's sake, there's a scene where like they use like a Hitchcockian shadow to insinuate that the killer is sticking a curling iron into a girl's neither regions.
The nethers.
Yes. And I'm just like, God damn, this is so fucking good. And you, obviously I'm not going to spoil it, but it's one of the most like profoundly mindfuck endings that is both confusing and shocking and scary. The first time I saw it, I was like immediately obsessed with it. I was thinking about it for days. I literally have a throw pillow of Angela on my chair in front of me that my wife got me off Etsy.
Nice.
It is my all-time favorite slasher. It's almost in the realm of So Bad It's Good, and it definitely scratches those So Bad It's Good itches, which is really my love over horror. I love So Bad It's Good better than horror. However, horror happens to have a lot of that in it. That's why, the Venn diagram definitely overlaps there. And it's also my number one, like, hey, if you first start dating a girl, like, what movie do you test them with? Like,
Right.
if you like this movie, like, you're out of here, Missy.
Yeah, it's like Tarantino with Rio Bravo or some shit like that.
Right.
I mean, it's like you got to watch something that you love and you know is great to you. Yeah, and if somebody's not into it, you're like, all right, cool. I know where you fit.
Right. And it's the same thing as stuff like Troll 2 or The Room,
Yes.
like where you're, or Samurai Cop, where you're like, I just want to show a group of people this movie who haven't seen it before and just watch their reaction to it.
Right.
It's everything I look for in a film, and a horror film, and a slasher, and Sleepaway Camp is my number one. The sequels are pretty decent too, but they're nothing compared to the first one.
I've only seen 1 and 2, and 1 I saw young. I was really like pretty young when I saw it, and I was like, what is going on? And you're right, though. I watching it again as I was older, the kills are solid. There are some really good kills in there.
Dude, a pedophile chef.
That's where I was getting ready to go. Yeah, absolutely.
Sorry, you go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, take it, Bobby. It's your movie, man.
A pedophile chef that refers to young children as baldies.
God damn.
Oh.
Gets murdered by a giant boiling pot of potatoes. In addition to that, most of the people that, if not all the people that get killed in this movie are total assholes.
Yeah, they
so it's
fucking deserve it.
Yeah, they deserved it, and you don't really see that all that much, with the exception of the campers at the like the little kids. Well, actually, you know what? They did deserve it now that I think about it.
Yeah, they're dicks too.
Yeah. So it just made me who I am today. That movie.
Yeah, that's how I feel about Friday the 13th Part 6.
DVD, VHS. I've met Felissa Rose before. She's a sweet lady. Oh God, I'm gonna go watch it after we're done with this.
Yeah,
I wonder how. And again, I don't want to ruin anything in this movie, but I wonder how accepted this movie would be now. That's been discussed. Well, I don't want to say anything else. Yeah, actually. We should just leave it there. I'm sorry to ask that, but it was just that's a thought to me. That is a conversation that's being had, but no one's particularly like offended by it. I don't think. Good, as they should not be, because Well, Mitch, Sleepaway Camp.
What's that?
Mitch, watch Sleepaway Camp.
Sleepaway Camp and Cabin in the Woods.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
I'm pretty excited about Cabin in the Woods.
Yeah. Well, we got time off, so.
I mean, like, honestly, fuck.
We're only 1 week into quarantine here, so.
I'm literally working from home. The other day I had Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 like on the TV in my office. I'm like, this is awesome.
Yes.
I'm okay with most of what's going on right now as far as my day-to-day goes.
Yeah. It's like watching old movies and then doing work on the computer. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's nice. I mean, where else in the world can you have a fridge full of, food, maybe a few rolls of toilet paper, good movies to watch on streaming, internet, and then you could work from home? Come on. We're blessed. We are blessed. # blessed.
That's what I'm trying to tell people. Like, everything's going to be fine.
Yeah.
Just great.
Enjoy it.
Like, if I could continue my work going forward this way, I would be okay with it.
I'm hoping for that, actually. I'm hoping that all the companies of America see how much money they're saving by letting people work from home, and the productivity doesn't go down so much that it doesn't make sense. Just be like, just work from home.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
We don't need to keep the lights on. You have your own lights.
Fire you, and
Yeah. No, I only have one honorable mention out of all of these, and this is something that I thought of right as soon as we started. Have you ever seen Club Dread?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is technically a slasher movie, but at the same time, it's so fucking hilarious. I mean, Coconut Pete is like awesome.
Well, that was done by the people.
Broken Lizard.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. I got National Lampoon stuck in my head, and I was like, definitely not them.
Yeah. Well, it's definitely better than the Slammin' Salmon.
I love
even though that's pretty
Salmon.
funny.
Yeah.
But it's just that whole premise that there's somebody's killing. I mean, and they do the jokes around the campfire, and all the kills are actually pretty decent too. Like the dude playing Pac-Man.
Right.
That's fucking crazy. That was my only honorable mention, because I just thought about it. I was like, damn, man, I wish I was on Coconut Pete's Island.
If I had an honorable mention, it would probably be Child's Play.
No, I mean, that's a good one too. Yeah.
Especially the original, the first one. I mean, that was really about like, that voodoo and all that, which it was pretty cool. Though I really did also like the one where he was, I don't remember the numbers, so you'll have to forgive me. The one where they're at the military academy.
That's
that
3.
2?
It was 2 or 3.
No, I think it's 3. I don't
he's
know.
Still a
Maybe
little
I'm
kid.
wrong.
He's still a little kid, I think.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But I like that one
wrong.
when they switched the ammo around and like they start killing kids. I was like, this is fucking amazing.
Well, he has the ruler and he like goes after some people. Most of those, but
really the first one specifically, because it is more of a slasher, I guess.
Brad Dourif's voice though when he screams.
Brad Dourif is my favorite actor of all time. And I'll come out and say like Child's Play is not my favorite franchise in the world. I like him enough, but like Brad Dourif is just a peach.
He's a badass in everything that he does.
Yeah. Yes.
I mean, he's like
Exorcist 3. Like, oh my God, dude.
That is like, that's the one movie. Cause like, I'll never watch The Heretic again, but like, but part 3. Yeah.
3 was good.
Oh my God.
2, that's intolerable.
Yeah.
It was
There's like,
terrible.
I'm friends with all these like movie nerds that are just like so far up their own ass that like, everything that was dismissed is like revisitable and genius all of a sudden. They're like, yeah, part 2 is fucking awesome because of it. I'm like, no, dude, it's just not. It's not a good movie.
No.
Like, it's worth a watch just for like to see an anomaly of John Borman's fucking fever dream where they just let him do whatever he wants, but it's not like an objective or it's not a good movie.
It was filmed like a soap opera on a roof, with that soft light, and it had the fucking nice flares on shit. And I'm like, oh, this sucks. It was almost like after like when Poltergeist 2 came out. Poltergeist 2 was cool for a little bit, and it was because he was so fucking wicked. The bad guy was. The rest of the movie sucked.
Yeah.
I was like, I want to like this one, but
I liked Poltergeist 1 and 2.
Yeah.
That was it.
1 is the fucking...
Dude, the braces scene in 2 like makes that whole movie as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, there's certain parts in that movie, but I'm like, overall, nah, I don't really need it. But yeah, no. There's a lot of good horror movies that shouldn't have been continued, and in the 80s was just they were throwing everything at the wall.
Well, you got House 2. Come on.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, House story. Yeah, one of the greatest fucking movies ever. Yep.
House 2 is?
Yes.
I don't know if I've actually seen House 2.
Well, you should watch it, but it is not.
Okay, I love the first House so much.
It is not as good as the first House.
Come on, it's got Cliff Clavin in it.
Of course it does. It had George Wendt in the first one.
And Irie Gross.
And Bill Maher.
And Bill Maher.
Is it called The Second Story? Is it that one?
Yeah.
I just like the pun. That's right. Okay.
Well, it's House meets Weekend at Bernie's, right?
Yes, it pretty much.
Really is.
Ooh.
Yeah.
See, there you go, right there. It just doesn't have what's her name in it? The Elizabeth chick. What is her name?
Oh, Donald Glover. Yeah. No, is that not?
That's not it.
From Night of the Comet and everything.
Yeah.
Catherine Mary Stewart.
Mary Stewart, yeah.
If you like House, Arrow just re-released this movie called Scared Stiff.
Oh, dude, I've seen that one.
Which is late 80s. It's House meets The Shining.
Oh.
Ooh.
Scared Stiff.
Set in the late... It's so awesome.
Dude, it's been forever since I've seen that one, but I know that name. I can't even picture it in my head. It's been so long.
Yeah.
Well, Dan's writing it down.
That's a recent discovery of mine that is incredible.
So real quick, I believe that Pandemonium, which was my number 5, was first called Thursday the 12th.
Okay. That rings a bell.
And the reason that I say that because they actually released a movie called Saturday the 14th.
It was so bad.
Which was so terrible. But I loved it as a young child. Because it was just that kind of a movie. It's not something you want to revisit.
It was like Transylvania 9000 or whatnot.
Yeah, whatever.
Gina Davis was pretty...
Transylvania in space.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. Well, did I ever tell you the story about the time whenever I was in Dallas, right? So I was living there, and I went to the theater, and I was going to go see Jason X, right? Because it was out, and I was like, fucking a new Jason movie. I'm going to go watch this movie. I'm going to get high before I go. Fucking get some popcorn, fucking grub out. So I go to the fucking front of the theater, right?
I got that reference.
And then,
American Juggalo?
Oh, no.
Oh, never mind. Go ahead.
There's some listener.
later.
He was just talking about life.
Yeah, that was just normal for me. Yeah.
There's a documentary about juggalos on YouTube, and there's a guy that literally says that. Like,
shit! Damn, I'm gonna go.
I swear to God, I watched it the other night. It was really weird that you just said
Brock's
that.
a juggalo now.
Oh shit! I'm gonna go kick my own ass now.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
No, but so I'm standing in the front, right, and I'm about to get my ticket to go see Jason X, and I'm like, yeah, this is gonna be really cool. It's like fucking, sliders on, the TV show.
Right.
And so this little kid walks up to me, and he's got to be at least like 9 or 10. And he's like, "What movie are you gonna go see, man?" And I was like, Jason X. He's like, "Would you buy me a ticket?" I was like, "Fuck yeah, come on." I was like, 2 to Jason X. And they're like, "All right." Walk in, we split up, go do our own thing, and I can see him sitting by himself, and he's loving it. Nice. Every minute I was like, I'm a superhero.
You're
right
passing
now.
it along.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then I was like, this movie fucking blows.
Yeah. But he loved it. So
yes.
he was 9 or 10.
That introduced him into the rest of them. Because, I know he was a kid just like me.
Right.
Like I got in trouble at Suncoast Video when I worked there in Dallas too, because this little kid walked up with a Texas Chainsaw Massacre, put it on the counter on VHS, and I was like, that'll be $8.95. Cool. And then we got a call the next day. How can you sell this stuff to these kids? Who was working the counter? And they were like, you don't need to do this anymore. I was like, well, shit, fucking doesn't bother me that much. But it was a little kid too.
Well, the problem I have is with the price that you said, $8.95 for a rental.
No.
It was Suncoast. Suncoast, they were buying it.
Got you. I don't know Suncoast. Sorry.
Oh, no. Suncoast was like the shit though.
Got you.
And I had the privilege of working there.
The privilege.
Yes.
Wow.
Until, yeah.
One of the first DVDs I ever bought was from Suncoast. It was In the Mouth of Madness, which it was like $27.
Yes. That's back when
and
they
by
still
like
sold laser
1998 standards, that's like $100.
Right? Yeah. That first DVD that you got, it was like, oh my God, I got fucking one DVD for $50.
Right.
It was like laser discs.
I think my first DVD that I actually bought was like The Matrix or something. I was a little late to the game maybe in the DVD. I just didn't care.
I still have a lot of old ones.
What was the last new VHS you guys bought before it all transitioned to DVD? Do you remember?
Ooh, that's a good one. Because I used to buy them when I lived in Dallas too. I'd go to the Walmart and they were like $3.
I think it was Star Wars the Remastered Trilogy.
No. For you?
That sounds,
yeah.
I think it was.
Because I totally got those like in consecutive years when they came out.
The gold box set.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was like enamored. Like I watched
Still
them.
got mine.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
dude. That's
Don't
awesome.
watch it.
Oh no, but yeah.
The last new VHS that I bought. Fuck, man. Because I bought all the used ones now.
The last VHS that I bought that was brand new was an episode of Mystery Science Theater 3000, The Squirm.
Nice.
Which was a terrible horror movie, but a great Mystery Science Theater 3000.
That's usually the premise. Yeah.
Damn, I'm trying to remember.
Form our hair in the shape of waves down here, boy. I'm going to Brian Dennehy all over your ass.
Well, Bobby, do you remember the last one that you bought?
It's either Star Wars Episode 1, regrettably.
Yep. Regrettably, yes.
But I think the actual answer is the first X-Men movie, which makes sense when you think about it, because that was right at that time when they would release it.
Yeah.
On both.
Started releasing on DVD and also on VHS. And yeah. It was one of those, though.
Man, I'm trying to remember. Like,
I didn't buy like a lot of VHSs. Like I went through periods of life, but like I would say just at that time, like I was pretty, I don't know what the word is. I was busy. Just about that time that all that was happening, you know what I mean? And
heroin?
No heroin. But
Trailer Park Days.
I made a shit ton of money at that time, actually, but it's a whole different story. What I was going to say was I would have tapes that like my friends who were super cool people would make me, like the one with the Crippled Masters Kung Fu Theater movie I told you about.
Yeah.
Just like compiled videos like that would be like 6 hours long of just craziness. Because this was before the internet was like really
you could find
prominent,
shit. Yeah. And it was like you had to dig to find any information.
So
on
that's
anything.
mostly what I watched at my apartment. Like when I had time to sit down and watch something.
Yeah, every Sunday
I never paid for cable at that time in my life.
Nice. Every Sunday, and when I lived in Garland, I would go to Walmart and get my groceries and everything like that, right? And then I would go to Wiener Schnitzel, and I would get 2 corn dogs, 2 chili cheese dogs, and a chili cheese fries, the fat guy special. and I would always buy a new VHS, and I'm trying to remember which is the new VHS, because I would always go there, and then I would pass out from the meat sweats, from eating so much shit, like right in the middle of it, and it was always like an older movie. Man, I can't remember the last one that I actually bought, but I know that they were like the color of
Money?
No. Oh yeah. No, the last Nick Cage movie, The Color. What is
Color Out of Space?
Color Out of Space, yeah.
They did a small VHS release of that.
Nice. Well, that's you
cool.
see all the stuff now, like records outsold CDs last year.
Yep.
About 2 years before that, like I know my daughter got real big into collecting cassette tapes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just like everything else, it's collectible and it's weird. And you're at that
in the jam room, we always had the VHSs, and I would always look for the horror ones. Yeah. And one time I went into the thrift store, and this dude had every Friday the 13th one, all in a stack, and they were all original. I was like, oh.
So the last, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I don't want to sound like a total hipster, but the last car I had with a cassette player in it, which wasn't that long ago, by the way, my ex-girlfriend, I stole a cassette she had because she didn't care about it. She didn't know what it was. She had a cassette of Ramones' Rocket to Russia. And I'm like, I'm taking that. And I took it. And all I'm saying is, like, if you have the ability to go listen to cassettes, like, it sounds really, really good. For some reason.
It's a darker, thicker sound. It really is.
Well,
it's that analog. I don't know what it is. It was like, oh, this sounds so good on cassette for some reason. But anyway, like, I'm gonna go eat some avocado toast and smoke a clove cigarette real quick.
Well, I'm 100%. Well, I'm not gonna smoke any clove cigarettes because they suck.
Yeah.
But when I moved back to Colorado Springs and found out that my rear-wheel drive Charger that I bought in Illinois wasn't great for living in the mountains like I do. I actually bought from my father-in-law 1997 Jeep Grand Cherokee, like with everything, leather, heated seats, like had 110,000 miles on it. And he didn't drive it. It just like he would drive it occasionally just so it would run.
Oh, and a tape deck.
Yeah. So I bought it for him for 50 cents. And he had a tape deck in it. So I had, I believe it was Violent Femmes were mostly on, and 9 Inch Nails, Pretty Hate Machine. And then I just had some older stuff that I'd randomly find at like the little secondhand shops and whatnot. But I'd always look for cassette tapes. And I drove that car for like 3 or 4 years.
Me and my wife had a little red Cavalier that had a 6-disc changer and a tape deck in it.
Well, of course it did.
It was like fucking fantastic, right? And it would only play one side of the tape. And I had a copy of The Clash's first one. And I would always listen to the same song, White Man and Hammersmith Pelias or whatever that song is called. And then when we gave it to my son, that was the only tape that he listened to. And he would always flip it and just re-listen to the one side over and over again.
Nice.
So yeah. So it wasn't that long ago either. It was like 10 years ago when we had that thing. So
this was like 2 years ago.
Now I got a Walkman hooked up to mine with an auxiliary plug with just batteries in
with
it.
Your awesome tape mix.
Well, I got I bought a new tape from some guys out of Argentina or something like that. The Black Furs, and they were doing a tape release, and so I was like, oh, let me check that out, and then I was like, I got to go get a Walkman now. It's one of the sport ones, the ones that were like $200.
Yeah,
brand new.
It's waterproof.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, awesome. Finally. You know, yeah. All I needed was one of those clear phones too.
Yeah,
you know?
right.
And then I reached
made
the top.
It. That's right. Started from the bottom. Now you're here.
Because we have a Dr. Perceptron in here. Yeah,
Dr. Perceptron.
Yes. Well, all right. I guess we could wrap it up because we've kind of gone through everything.
We've talked about all the topics.
Yeah. Yes, we've hit everything. You know what, man? It was really nice having you on the show. That was fucking cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
We got to do this again.
Yeah, please let's. And I'll just throw this out there too. If you guys ever just like want to hang out over Skype, because this is our new reality, please let me know. We don't have to. We don't have to be recording necessarily. Yeah. I'm very lonely. My wife doesn't like this kind of shit. So,
send toilet
just
paper.
Throwing that up.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Anytime. No.
Yeah,
now
100%.
you got mine, and we could all do like conferences or something like that.
Yeah.
Well,
We
you
could
guys
do, like,
are.
a Jackbox TV party, do some trivia. I don't know. I'm
Yeah.
just, like,
Anything. Where are
trying
you?
to be sane and interact with people outside of my dogs and my wife.
I'm wondering how long it's going to take for my wife to get really super pissed at me.
Yeah.
Dude, it's just pick and choose for me. I'm
Yes.
like, okay, I want to watch one of these two things. I'm going to present this one.
Yes.
If she says no, that's
other
fine.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
The other night, my wife was like, "Hey, do you think we could watch a good movie?"
I hate that phrase because that stings so bad.
What are you
I'm like,
talking about?
Yeah, yeah. Everything
Ritter's
is good.
Three is amazing.
Yeah. Every time I'm like you said, Danny, you got to pick the right one. You're like, she's not going to like this one. But
Well, like, yeah, we were talking about the stuff that's out on video on demand now, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to watch Bloodshot by myself
yeah.
because she's not going to want to watch
No.
that because I didn't expect much out of it. Better than I thought. So we're going to watch The Hunt together.
Yeah. Yeah. It doesn't matter whatever we watch, TV shows or anything, because within 10 minutes, my wife's, brain switches to her phone.
My,
And
my
then she's
wife
playing
is-
Diner Dash or some shit.
my wife's real big into like those 911 and Grey's Anatomy and those shows.
I can't.
Is it well? Again,
Yes.
that's her time,
I feel
and that's fine.
Hey,
it's
no, yeah.
it's perfect. It's perfect. It gives me time to go watch what I want to watch, so it all works out.
Yeah. Well, honestly, you guys are listening to this podcast, but Bobby, where can we listen to your podcast?
Yes.
Sure. Yeah. So, Not For Everyone podcast. There's no "the" on the front. It's just Not For Everyone podcast. It's on Spotify, iTunes. Is it still called iTunes? Apple Music, whatever it is.
Apple Podcasts.
Yeah.
Yeah, podcast. It's on the podcast Apple thing, Stitcher, SoundCloud, all that, Google Play. But yeah, just a quick elevator pitch. Topics are very similar to what we've been discussing today. But the way I've been describing it to people, it's like two cynical man children exploring their flawed friendship through the lens of obscure cult horror sci-fi movies.
It's awesome.
Yes. Yeah, I'd laugh out loud almost every
I do
new
too.
episode.
And the dynamic between you and Adam is awesome.
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you.
Adam is aggressive. I like it. I am sad that we haven't had Fat Kilmer on.
Yeah, I know.
Wait a minute.
Oh, there he is.
I was Iceman. I don't think you understand. I was Iceman. Another bottle of blue cheese.
A little taste.
Hey, there you go.
I mean,
Perfect.
Something
Now
like
it's
that.
been a podcast.
yeah, Fat Kilmer will be back soon. I'm sure. He was like surprisingly like it resonated. That character resonated with a lot of people. For some reason. Like, I didn't even know this many people listen to us. Like Fat Kilmer. I'm like, what? But yeah, he's an asshole.
Oh my god.
No, but yeah. So yeah, we do weird stuff like that. And just real quick, we didn't really plan on our podcast turning into what it was. It was just like we were trying to just kind of do a normal like rank and file movie podcast, and then like we just started talking to each other like we always do, which is just that friend that like your entire friendship is built on just talking shit to one another. And we're like, all right, I guess we're going to do that then. And it's kind of evolved from there. So yeah, Not For Everyone podcast. It's not for everyone.
Not for everyone.
But it's definitely for us.
Yes, it's definitely for
Thanks.
us, and we'll put a
Cool.
link on our new website for it too.
Yeah.
We're gonna start putting. We're gonna add a new page to it and start putting all of our friends' stuff on there.
Yeah. So everybody,
Links and
you're going to
everything
be
like
the
that.
first one on the show.
Yes.
So
Sick.
yeah.
Yes.
I was going to ask,
Send
have
me,
you?
send me some other recommendations too, because I'm kind of hit a wall with podcasts. So yeah.
Perfect. We'll do.
Yeah, and I was going to say, has he covered The Watchmen?
Oh, The Watchmen.
No, we have this thing about Watchmen or The Watchmen. And so it was just a funny callback.
It is Watchmen, right?
It is Watchmen.
Yeah.
We always call it The
We
Watchmen.
call it The Watchmen to piss people off intentionally.
Like the Alan Moore.
Yes. He's a wizard, you know.
What's the new thing? Shit the hell up.
Yeah.
Shut the hell up.
Fucking autocorrect, man.
Dude. And of all the things, autocorrect's never corrected my word to a swear word. Like, how much do I use that word? You know? It was like,
I'm not saying duck.
Yeah, exactly.
Nobody talks about ducks this much.
I don't even know what ducking is.
Right.
Oh, I guess I do.
Well, all right. I guess we'll wrap it up. I mean, that was awesome having you on. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you guys.
It's really cool to have somebody, again, like we were talking about at the very beginning, across the United States somewhere. It's about 12 hours away from here, and be friends with somebody that's into the same kind of stuff that we are.
Absolutely.
You know, that we can actually have
man.
a good conversation.
And like I said, I used to live in Colorado. I have a lot of friends up there still. I go up at least once or twice a year, so I'm gonna hit you guys up next time I'm in the state.
Fuck
Absolutely.
yeah. Hell yeah.
Drink some beers.
Drink some beers. We don't
Sold.
drink IPAs here.
Yeah.
I'll drink
You
it.
don't.
I do.
Yeah, Dan does. You gotta
Nobody's perfect.
Yeah. There's too many places to drink beer. All right, guys. Let's wrap it up. That was the Drop Culture Podcast. I'm Brock.
I'm Mitch.
I'm Dan.
And
Our guest.
Oh, I'm Bobby.
all right.
Hit us up on the Twitters, the Instagram, the Facebook. Check out our website, as we said, www.dropculture.com.
We go there all the time, you can tell.
It's the www dot.
Yes.
Don't forget that.
www.
/ HTTP
Yes.
colon.
Hey, stay out of my colon.
And we always have trouble ending it, so have a good night, everyone. Yeah.
Bobby, that was
Well,
great.
thanks, guys.
No, thank you
That was
very
really
much.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I did something today, so that's good.
Hey, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I hope to feel the same soon.